Greetings, everybody, and welcome to this week's weekly challenge guide. Now, the weekly challenges are a series of races, 5 in total, that take place and are specially curated for that week. 4 of them usually races already found within the game, with the 5th one especially made for that week, known as the special event. And the purpose of these guides is to give you some advice, recommendations, and an idea as to what to expect with these races in terms of the cars, in terms of the specifications that need to be met, laps, and the track itself, and any other advice necessary for the races. So let's kick things off this week with the easiest of all the races, the Sunday Cup. Now, if you've been playing this game for a while, you'll pretty much recognize this as a race where, as long as the car is above the power points, in this case 380, you can pretty much enter it. Well, that it being a road car as well. And that's about it. So, for instance, I'm going to be using this Honda S660 that I had actually modified for another race. And there will be some setup stuff here, but you don't really have to do any of this. Again, it's a really easy race. The only key parts that I would really recommend, or at least take on board here, is that, first off, if you're used to the longer circuit, the first 2 turns are the same, but that third one leads right back to the straightaway with the fast sweeping section that leads back to the back straight. And 2, be mindful of the fact that unlike the full course, this one actually has a very abrupt tight corner that comes up really quickly. So you'll want to brake very early for that corner there. Next up is the Japanese 4-wheel drive Challenge 600. And as the name implies, you will need a Japanese 4-wheel drive road car, professionally tuned, that at least is up to 600 performance points or more. As you can see with my example, I have a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo that I had tuned up for the Lancer event some weeks ago. And as you can see the setup, in a similar way I did with the Ford Focus from the last set of races, I have tuned this based on a racing vehicle, the Group 4 Lancer. So if you're looking for a setup for your particular one, if you have this exact same car, then well, there's one for you. And as for my key points for this one, there's a couple. First off, turn 1. With the way the AI intend to drive, you're gonna want to let off a little early there because they brake very hard. So you want to get off the throttle early or out of gear early. And that way, when you do go through the corner, you'll be able to predict exactly where the AI is going to go, and you make passes on it. And another corner that I also want to point out is, of course, the one down the very long straightaway there. You're going to want to brake there very early, because obviously with these being road cars, no matter what you do with the brakes, there's still going to be a little bit of play in there. So you're going to want to brake a little early, stick very deep to the inside, about 3rd or 2nd gear, depending on how you have it tuned, and the smooth exit out of the corner. And then we have, and obviously as usual, you will need a car that, as long as it's from Porsche, it's pretty much game. You can come in there and tune the car up mostly to 650 pp. That's about your limit. So, as was the case last week, my trusty Porsche 911 GT3 in 2009. So you get to see that again. And that's pretty much it. As far as key points are concerned, is the little dip before the corkscrew, before you go uphill into the corkscrew. This one, when you're going to pass AI, you're going to want to brake a bit early, because again, the AI tend to brake very hard into that corner. So you are going to want to back that up. That way when you go through there, and while they're still trying to accelerate from braking so early, you have all the momentum, and you can get by them very easily. And of course, you will notice that in the race, there is a new car that you have to get around, and that is one of the newly added ones from the most recent update. More on that in the update video. And the last of the regular races is the World Touring Car 800. 10 laps, and you'll need basically a car, road or race car, to 800 performance points. Now, the race itself is mostly consistent of Group 3 cars, but as you'll notice, it just says you have to have a car with 800 performance points. So that means you can do whatever you want. And in my particular example, that's right, I am entering a Mercedes CLK LM. So if you don't want a challenge and you just want to cheese it for the getting the race completion, you can do that. In fact, the car is itself available right now from the Legends Car dealership as this video is up. And key points, well, not a lot. There's tire and fuel for this one, so you will have to stop at least once. And that's pretty much it. And finally, it is time for that special, unique curated race not found otherwise in the game itself. The special event. And this time, it's the Mazda 1 make. And this has the cars that include the Mazda Unos Roadster or the Roadster Touring Car. Either of those will do. Of course, for the example, I pretty much already have the Roadster Touring Car, which I'm just cheese based, so that's what I've got. Nothing tuning wise, just stock. So that's about it. So the key points to this particular race is that long flowing right-hander. And this is where having racing tires would be very recommended, because if you do that, trust me, you can pretty much pass the AI very easily on the outside, as they will brake a lot in that corner. This happens pretty much with every car they drive. Even something as quick as a Super Formula, they will do that. So here, you don't have to necessarily brake, but you do have to get off throttle. Be very smooth when you do it though. Otherwise you'll upset the car. And that is it for this edition of the Weekly Challenges Guide. Hopefully you guys enjoy this particular one and it helps you guys out, whether you're new, whether you've come back to the game, to these new challenges. Obviously, your feedback would be very appreciated. What would you like to see? More information, more elaboration on certain things, whatever, comment down below. And of course, as usual, if you enjoy these videos, then give this a like, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more videos as I make these. So that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video.